person in this case.
This is ABC 7 News at 6.
It has been nearly 72 hours since a Houston-based private plane crashed while taking off from Bangor International Airport Sunday night, presumably killing all 6 people on board. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Doug Banks. This afternoon, airport officials held a press conference to update the public on both the recovery efforts and the federal investigation now underway. Alex Schley was there and joins us live now in studio with more. Alex, what new information do we have?
Doug, nearly 3 days after the deadly crash, officials say the investigation remains in its early stages. Today, in addition to the National Transportation Safety Board, local first responders and the state medical examiner were on scene. However, officials have not confirmed whether the aircraft has been removed from the runway or whether the victims have been extracted. Airport officials say 6 NTSB investigators are currently on scene as of Wednesday, and more are expected to arrive as the investigation continues.
During the on-scene phase of the investigation, the NTSB does not determine or speculate about the causes of the accident. They will provide a preliminary report within 30 days with factual information gathered during the initial phase.
Officials also warn it could take up to 2 years before a final report determining the cause of the crash is released.
The scene has been under round-the-clock surveillance by the Bangor Police Department until their arrival and continue to be in place, securing the scene and providing support. Unfortunately, the extreme weather conditions on the field are impacting the progress of the investigation.
Despite the airport remaining closed, officials say NTSB has given clearance for local crews to begin clearing the runways and preparing for potential reopening.
We have also inspected equipment necessary to ensure it is operating safely and properly ahead of resuming operations.
Officials confirmed that light flight and military helicopter operations have also been cleared to resume.
We're also coordinating very closely with airlines and other stakeholders across the airport to share information that it's necessary once we are ready to reopen and re-establish operation. Passengers are encouraged to contact the airlines for additional details and information relevant to travel plans.
Airport officials say a meeting with all agencies involved was scheduled for this afternoon to determine whether the airport operation should resume tomorrow as scheduled. We were just recently told that this meeting is still happening. We have not received word as to whether they've made a decision or not, but we will provide updates both on air and online. Live in studio, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Alex, thank you for that report. Folks, some news out of the University of Maine. Numerous student organizations organized a rally protesting ICE at the University of Maine in Orono. Students say they are concerned with the school's response to ICE activity. Our Alexa Kennedy has that story.
Wednesday, student leaders from 4 school organizations at the University of Maine in Orono rallied against ICE outside the Fogler Library. The protest was in response to the recent death of Alex Preddy, who was shot by federal officers over the weekend. Rally organizers said they hope to use this momentum to bring attention to UMO's policies regarding ICE.
Currently, the University of Maine has no policy in place for if ICE were to show up on campus. We want the University of Maine to clarify these policies for the students. We want the University of Maine to put in some sort of protections for students.
Cohen says students shared speeches, chanted, and marched through campus. Organizers say they're most concerned about the safety of UMaine's international and immigrant student population.
Right now it's specifically important because of seeing the USM student get kidnapped. That's a university within our system that we got no information about. No one sent out any alert. All information was from the news.
Concerns rose, especially after reports that a student at the University of Southern Maine was detained by ICE in a Market Basket parking lot last Tuesday.
These are people that are part of our community. They are our teaching assistants. They are our classmates. They are our dorm mates. They are us. And when you decide that they need to be targeted, you're deciding that all of us need to be targeted.
Students here say they're united as a community and will continue to support each other. In Orono, Alexa Kennedy, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news tonight, one of the Woodland pulp workers who was involved in a gas incident at the Baileyville mill last night has passed away. This is according to mill spokesperson Scott Beal. Another worker involved in the incident was sent to Calais Hospital last night as well with serious injuries. Their condition is unknown at this time. The local fire department last night says they were called to the mill at around 6:20 after the workers were overcome by a gas release. Once on the scene, they worked to evacuate everyone into waiting EMS units. Officials say the gas was contained to the bleach plant at the mill, and they say there is no danger to the public. At last report, they were still trying to determine a source of the gas leak. Beal told ABC7 and Fox 22 this morning that OSHA is on scene there and the mill is cooperating with that ongoing investigation. So we'll continue to monitor that.
Yes. Well, in other news, Governor Janet Mills held her final State of the State address last night.
Our Callie Warren joins us now live in studio to explain that multifaceted speech. Callie.
Thanks, Beth. The governor is nearing the end of her second term, which makes last night's address her seventh and final. She had several remarks on current politics and some big proposals to announce. Let's take a look.
Tonight, I'm proud to stand before you one final time and say that despite our challenges, I believe the state of our state is strong.
Governor Janet Mills addressed lawmakers and her main constituents for the last time Tuesday evening during her final State of the State address.
As your governor, I will defend you. I will defend our Constitution, a Constitution written by immigrants, and I will defend our democracy with everything I have.
Mills has long been outspoken regarding her disapproval of President Trump and his administration's policies, and once again voiced her opposition to ICE agents in Maine. She also advocated for reproductive health rights since the overturn of Roe v. Wade.
And while the U.S. Supreme Court and the federal government have rolled back the right to reproductive health care, we in Maine have fought to protect it and to expand that right. And we're not backing down. You're welcome.
Additionally, Mills discussed the economic advancements she'd seen in her term.
And I'm proud to say we've seen an increase of 16,200 private sector jobs in our state,
as well as the ones she hopes to make as she finishes her last term, including a multi-million-dollar affordable housing proposal.
In total, this American Dream proposal will result in 825 new homes all across Maine.
And proposing economic relief checks to eligible families to help ease high living costs.
We're putting tax dollars back in your pockets, and you will have the freedom to decide what to do with it.
Finally, Mills reflected on her past 7 years as governor.
To the people of Maine, it has been my greatest honor to serve as your governor these past 7 years. Thank you.
Governor Mills announced a proposal to send $300 affordability relief checks to Mainers earning less than $75,000 a year. That would include married couples who file jointly and earn $150,000. The cost of those checks would be covered by the state's rainy day fund. Mills also called for universal health care, proposed a cell phone ban in schools, and called for clean energy expansions. Her office stated that the governor's supplemental budget will be released within the next few weeks and will not include any tax increases. Back to you.
Callie, thank you for that report. On that same note, Governor Mills' speech sparked strong reactions from Republican lawmakers, many who abruptly walked out before the governor concluded her remarks, potentially setting the stage for further divisiveness amongst the Maine legislature this session. Our Grace Blanchard has those details.
Reactions to Governor Janet Mills' State of the State address are deeply divided, with Democrats praising her affordability agenda, but strong opposition from Republicans.
One more thing. Oh, you bet it is, Jim.
A number of Republican lawmakers walked out of the Maine House chamber during the address after Mills voiced support for increased spending to organizations like Planned Parenthood.
It was a very emotionally charged speech that Janet Mills was giving last night. She was up there laughing about things she was saying that were very much against the core Republican values.
Assistant Leader of the House Republicans, Representative Katrina Smith, says the walkout happened naturally and was not planned.
Some of us stayed and reacted and listened to everything. They listened to things, outside of the chamber, but emotionally unfortunately, it was very difficult for everybody to stay. So they exercised their right and walked out.
It would have been my choice to do that, but I respect their right to do what they want to do, I guess. I hope they'll come back to the table so we can have some discussions, because we all care about Mainers and want to move the state forward.
Maine's Senate Majority Leader says the state has a long tradition of coming together on difficult policy issues.
So even when we're divided, the state Senate and the Democrats in the state Senate are continuing to do this work and move us forward. So come to the table, talk to us, but let's make sure we're doing the best work for the Maine people.
Representative Smith says Republican leaders have been pushing for opportunities to sit down with the governor and Democrats in recent weeks to address policy issues, but says they are getting no response back.
We want to work with them. We want to find a path forward that keeps our people safe, that keeps people, staying in the state, but we're finding just a logjam of refusal to work with us.
In Augusta, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, political expert Mark Brewer spoke with us today about last night's State of the State address. The UMaine professor and political science department chair told us some elements could be seen as a campaign speech depending on its interpretation. Governor Mills announced her run for U.S. Senate last year, and Brewer says components such as the $300 relief checks could be seen as both beneficial to Mainers during a rising time of energy and heating costs, but also as a campaign ploy.
It was a good speech. It certainly wasn't a great speech by any means, but it was a perfectly fine state of the state speech by a governor who's done this plenty of times.
He says there was more talk about the federal government in her speech than some would normally expect from a State of the State address, but he says it makes sense because of the presence of immigration and customs enforcement in our state.
Well, we're coming off one of our region's biggest snowstorms of this season, but what does the rest of the day look like?
Hopefully not much colder.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm not holding out a lot of hope. Let's turn things over to Chase Ropanak with a first look at our forecast.
Thank you very much. Our first weather today is brought to you by Old Town Redemption, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Getting better and better for temperature-wise, but as you see out there for today, partly cloudy skies. A lot of us seeing sunshine out there, but clouds are continuing to move in. We'll stay partly cloudy for tonight, but temperatures again for highs in the upper teens, almost near 20 here in Bangor. We did reach the low 20s along your coastline for Rockland and Bar Harbor. Some mid-20s out there in the southwestern portion of the state as well. But again, many of us up north hanging out in those low to mid-teens for today. Now for tonight, we're going to see those temperatures drop once again, but we'll have some partly cloudy skies, some areas of clear cover and some areas of cloudy cover out there for tonight. So temperatures will vary a little bit, but as we get into tomorrow afternoon, we'll see partly cloudy skies once again, staying dry, and temperatures still hanging around those upper teens. But for tonight, as some of us will see some clear skies, we're looking at light winds tonight as well, and that's going to drop our temperatures back near 0 degrees.
Chase, thank you for that report. We will see you later on the broadcast. Folks, on more local news after the break, so stay right here.
When a big storm hits and damages our electrical system, we have a planned approach to get the most customers restored at a time.
We begin by assessing the scope of the damage and helping first responders address emergency situations like down lines across roads.
Then, before you see us in your neighborhoods, power restoration begins at our substations. From there, power travels long distances over these transmission lines.
They're next on the repair list, followed by the lines in your neighborhood.
As we work to bring the most customers online at a time, we'll keep you updated throughout the process. Please remember to report your outage either online or by calling us at 973-2000.
Please stay safe while we work hard to get your power back on.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Call the twos. We win for you.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Berg Activewear, Coastal Auto Parts Napa, Comfort Shoes and more, Huff Power Sports, Mills, Shea, Lexier, and Talbot, PA. and the Farmer's Table.
The fun never stops at Wheel. You got it! It's a car! You're a millionaire!
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7. You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. This week, Advocates was working to pinpoint an actual count of the number of homeless individuals, and they will do that by taking account on one designated evening to gain that snapshot of the population. It's something that is being done in communities across the nation. The snapshot is crucial in steering both state and federal funding for housing and homeless services. That funding is actually directed by the outcomes of these community snapshots. Advocates actually go out into the communities and take account, which can be challenging in some rural areas.
I think every year we're really just looking at new ways of reaching folks due to just so many barriers and challenges of reaching people. So it really couldn't be more important. We have so much at stake. We already don't have enough resources to support folks that are in experiencing homelessness in our community. So there's a lot at stake here.
Lola says the count serves as a dual purpose, allowing them to reconnect with the unhoused individuals in the community and distribute helpful information on resources like warming centers. In addition to the one-night snapshot, they will also be visiting warming centers to make sure everyone is accounted for.
All right, and still to come, our Jack Webb will be in with some news about Bill Belichick that might shock you, and we'll have that story after the break.
What matters more? A bank with innovative products or one that cares for the community? At Bangor Savings Bank, we think it's both because our innovation helps customers build stronger credit, earn rewards when shopping local, give teens independence and financial experience, and simplify business with local solutions. So what matters more? You.
Maine's rivers, our lakes, our life-giving wells. To ensure that our water supply remains clean and safe, Senator Susan Collins is leading the fight to protect this vital resource. She delivered millions to upgrade Maine's drinking water and wastewater infrastructure, keeping the quality of water as precious as Maine itself. So raise a glass and thank Senator Susan Collins for her leadership that goes beyond politics.
Is your Maine issued license or ID expiring soon? Good news. You may be able to skip the trip to the BMV and renew it online, including if your license or state ID is Real ID compliant. Visit maine.gov/SOS/BMV today to find out if you're eligible to renew online. Brought to you by this station, the Maine Association of Broadcasters, and the Office of the Secretary of State.
From pop music legend Cyndi Lauper and Broadway's Harvey Fierstein, Kinky Boots, the Tony and Grammy-winning feel-good best musical about seizing your destiny and being who you want to be. Be inspired by the Broadway show that has captured hearts around the world. Kinky Boots, March 3rd, Cross Insurance Center. On sale at Ticketmaster.com.
Welcome back in, folks. We'll begin with some news that shocked the sports world on Tuesday night. Bill Belichick will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. The man who is the second most wins in NFL history, an 8-time Super Bowl champion, the architect of the greatest dynasty in sports history, appearing in 9 Super Bowls and winning 6 over the course of 2 decades, did not receive 40 of the 50 votes it takes to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, you may ask how. Well, longtime Patriots rival Bill Polian, who's a voter for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, reportedly was driving a narrative to other voters that Bill Belichick should be punished and have to wait a year due to Spygate and other scandals. When asked if Polian voted for Belichick or not, Polian said he couldn't remember, even though the votes were cast just 2 weeks ago. Yeah, nothing else to say about that. Now in Patriots news, there's been a lot of chatter on social media that Patriots quarterback Drake May have suffered a shoulder injury during Sunday's win over in Denver. May, who took some big hits, was scrambling for a first down late in the third, where it looks like he loses his footing, and a bit before taking the hit, you can see he just kind of lands awkwardly with the Denver safety falling hard on Drake's throwing shoulder. May then seemed to be favoring his shoulder while going back to the huddle, but earlier on Tuesday, head coach Mike Vrabel says Drake should be good to go.
I won't say that anybody hurt anything. I think that everybody, and including Drake, is not 100% at this part of the year. And, you know, we'll do everything that we can to help our players be prepared and get ready for this game.
The Maine hockey team returns to Alfond Arena for the first time in a month and a half this Saturday. The Black Bears are coming off a road series sweep against UMass Lowell, winning 2-0 on Friday, then 6-5 in overtime on Saturday. Maine hosts Providence this Saturday, a team they got swept by earlier in the month, but the Black Bears are excited to be back at Alfond Arena.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always so much easier to play at home, and especially for us. You know, nobody else, I think, has as much energy in their building as we do, and, you know, we missed it. It's been probably a month or so, over a month since we played here, a month and a half. And it's going to be so exciting to get back in front of the Alfond faithful.
I couldn't be more excited. Selfishly, as a senior, I only have 5 games left of the Alfond, which is scary to even say out loud. But no, I'm just looking forward to it, looking forward to making the most of it.
That is all the time we have for sports for now. Here's your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you very much. Tonight's weather is brought to you by Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln. Blazing Trails provides outstanding products and customer service to Penobscot County. Blazing Trails, they're blazing the trails to holistic medicine. All right, for today, temperatures are slowly getting better and better. We reached the upper teens for today here in Bangor. You can see low 20s along your coastline, Rockland, Bar Harbor, and some of us into the mid-20s. Sanford at 24 for you today. But of course, a bit cooler up north with many of us hanging out in the low to mid-teens for highs this afternoon. For tonight, we're going to see a variation of temperatures. Some of us can be in the low teens along your coastline, some of us near zero. You're going to see that here in Bangor, while the rest of us hanging out in those single digits, possibly into the negatives way up north near Caribou with the partly cloudy skies we're going to see overnight tonight. Staying partly cloudy for tomorrow. Some of us could reach near 20 again along your coastline, but again with that deep snowpack, expect upper teens still here in the Bangor region with cooler temperatures further north. So average highs right around 28 degrees, about 10 degrees below that going into tomorrow. Even cooler for your Friday, hanging out in the mid-teens then. But then we start the slow increase. Getting into the beginning of your work week on Monday, we can be back closer to average right around the mid-20s, and then back above it Tuesday into Wednesday. Looks like temperatures back in the 30s are on their way heading into next week. So wind speeds right now a little breezy at times, but going into tonight, the winds are going to go calm. We're going to see this kind of continue throughout the next few days. You'll see an afternoon breeze, and then at night, those winds will be calm again. That's going to help drop those temperatures. So for tonight, of course, we'll have partly cloudy skies. Some areas can be clear, some cannot. So again, we're looking to be a little clear here in Bangor with the cloud cover, so expect lows near zero, but tomorrow afternoon staying partly cloudy, sunshine for much of the state. As we get into your Thursday night to your Friday, a cold front will arrive from the north. This could bring a few snow flurries for our central and northern viewing area, but it doesn't look like it's going to reach here in Bangor. Yes, a slight chance for snow, but of course, with a lot of dry air in there, it's going to be hard for that snow to fall. Now, as we continue, though, into your Friday afternoon, winds not as breezy. It'll pick up still during the afternoon, but you'll still see partly cloudy skies once again. So pretty quiet this week until we get late into your weekend on Sunday. That's when another system can arrive, bringing some more snow potential, but that's still pretty far away. So for tonight, we got the partly cloudy skies, lows near zero for tonight, and some of us could be in the single digits, some of us can be below zero. But for tomorrow, all of us will rebound nicely back in the upper teens, just like we were for today. But yes, there will be a breeze out there, gusting near 25 miles per hour from the west-northwest. So here's a look at your extended forecast. Pretty quiet this week, as I just said not too long ago. But again, temperatures may fall into your Friday into the mid-teens, back into the upper teens for your Saturday with plenty of sunshine. Now, there is a big system on the way looking to come Sunday and Sunday night into your Monday, but still, there's not a lot of consistency with the models in this system. So as of right now, looking like a chance for some snow late Sunday, Sunday night as well, but clearing out with by your Monday with temperatures back in the mid-20s for highs.
Good to know, Chase. Thank you for that report. We'll be right back after the break, so stay right here.
As a hybrid pioneer, followed by years of refinement, Toyota has earned praise for creating the most advanced and reliable hybrid system. Now with more hybrid all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models than any other brand. Like the bold and modern all-wheel drive Prius Hybrid with exceptional comfort and an up to 567-mile total driving range. So see your New England Toyota dealer, your hybrid all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
When Maine winter bites, nothing matters more than keeping your family warm. The solution is simple, a high-efficiency heat pump installed by Valley Home Services. It's the quiet, reliable warmth you need all season long. At Valley Home, we're your elite Fujitsu dealer, ensuring expert installation that delivers consistent comfort and maximizes your energy savings. And we make it easy to switch to efficiency heating and qualify for those valuable Efficiency Maine rebates. Stay perfectly warm without the high cost. For a warm, worry-free winter, trust the local experts. Valley Home Services. Winter warmth is waiting. Call us today.
Hi, I'm Tony with TC Hafford Basement Systems. All things basementy. Is your foundation shifting, settling, or cracking? Don't wait till it's too late. We offer the most reliable solutions to lift and stabilize your sinking foundation. With our advanced piering techniques, we'll ensure your home is back on solid ground. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
At VIP Tires and Service, we know you want the best tires at the lowest price, and we deliver. At VIP, we have a huge selection of brands you trust. All season, all weather, you name it, in stock and ready to roll. Like tires from world-renowned Vredestein, known for innovation and performance, with designs for all vehicles and driving styles. And Vredestein tires are sold exclusively at VIP. For all things automotive, turn to VIP.
Welcome back in, everybody. And to wrap up the show tonight, we bring in our sports director, Jack Webb, as Maine football making some waves earlier this week.
Yeah, Beth, Super Bowl winning head coach John Gruden kind of has a series where he opens boxes of gear from college football teams around the country, and the Black Bears got their moment earlier this week. He spent over 5 minutes not only showing off his new Maine football swag, but also flexing his Orono and sports knowledge, name-dropping former UMaine standouts, and even telling stories about some of those legends throughout the video.
This is the place, the Maine Black Bears, where some of my favorite people I've ever met in the history of my life have come from. Now they have Jordan Stevens, head coach of the Black Bears. Yeah, they started this season 0-4. A lot of teams would be like, we're 0-4, let's just pack it in. No, the Black Bears win 6 straight games. Look at this. Look at this right here.
Oh,
the Maine. Look at the back of this. This is where Mike DeVito played. Do you remember Mike DeVito of the Jets?
Now, Jack, you're a UMaine alum. What does this mean for not just the football community at UMaine, but just the entire community in general?
Yeah, where was my name dropped there, Doug? Right? Yeah, that's
I know.
unbelievable. Coach Gruden, come on, man. I mean, I played 2 games,
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's really cool for it's always great when anything in Maine, right, gets their shine on the national level, especially the Maine football program. And my favorite part about it was he not only named Maine football legend and Maine football coaching legends and gave shout out to head coach Jordan Stevens, who's the head coach now, but he also talked about some hockey, right? John Tortorella, a former, a legendary NHL head coach who played at Maine. He gave a shout out to Paul Correa, told a story about Paul Correa. He even gave OHOP a shout out, right? He really kind of just wrapped his arms around the entire UMaine community, and I think that was the coolest part of it.
I love, too, that he brought up the resiliency of the program, the fact that they've never quit, they've kept improving, they've kept driving forward, and we saw that in a much improved record. This season, we're all so proud of them and all the work they put in and the positive attitude they always seem to have when you talk to them. So I love that he gave that a shout out, too.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
I think that 6-game win streak they went on this past fall is something they're looking to build on, and it's really cool that a Super Bowl winning head coach noticed that as well.
Super great. All right, well, that was definitely fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Well, that does it for tonight. For all of us here at ABC 7, have a great rest of your evening.
And for more, you can certainly join us over on Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
Tonight, the deadly shooting of the ICU nurse in Minneapolis.
I want to see the investigation.
Will it calm tensions across the country?
The first night, they gave me an initial estimate. At that point, the vet told me to go home because there was nothing else I could do while he was in surgery, and they gave me an initial estimate. When I returned home, I went to the defendant's house just to touch base and give him the initial estimate.
How much was the total bill, the final balance?
$3,445.12.
Okay. You lost control of your dog. If you lose control of your dog and your dog causes injury, you have to pay for it. That's it. End of discussion. 3445, judgment for the plaintiff. We're done.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
Because his dogs were barking, they were just barking like, you know, just bananas, just going at my dogs while we were sitting on our porch.
Their dogs were barking as equally as much. I know they're little yappy dogs, but their dogs weren't any better.
There's really no other story than that they antagonized my pup.
And I did try to, avoid confrontation by walking into the street.
And he went after him. I mean, that's really it.
And, their dog just got loose and, treated mine like a little rag doll.
Yeah, just be a little more aware.
All I really cared about was, making sure he's okay and, taking care of his medical bills.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
It has been nearly 72 hours since a Houston-based private plane crashed while taking off from Bangor International Airport Sunday night, presuming to have killed all 6 people on board. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Doug Banks. This afternoon, airport officials held a press conference to update the public on both the recovery efforts and the federal investigation now underway. Alex Schley was there and now joins us live in studio with more. Alex, what new information do we have?
Doug, nearly 3 days after the deadly crash, officials say the investigation remains in its early stages. Today, in addition to the National Transportation Safety Board, local first responders and state medical examiners were on the scene. However, officials have not confirmed whether the aircraft has been removed from the runway or whether the victims have been extracted.
Airport officials say 6 NTSB investigators